What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to Tech Talk. My name is Ole Bocheng, and I'm interviewing the visionary founder of Auko Designs by the name of Kopano Makino. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, my man. It's a Friday. The weather doesn't look so amazing, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm enjoying my Friday so far. And yourself?
No, it's I mean, same sentiments from my side, bro. It's a little clouded outside, but yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part, I mean, the work continues. But yeah, I'm doing good, healthy. I'm feeling fresh.
I'm loving that. I'm loving that.
Yeah,
So yeah, usually when we start these interviews, and I know it's been a while coming. We spoke
hmm
about 2, 3 weeks ago.
yeah.
Trying to set up this interview, but yeah, we're here now. But usually, how I like to start these interviews is that I'd like to know you, the person, before we hop into Auko Designs, where you will give us a brief overview of what the company does. So, who is Kopano? And yeah, a little bit about your upbringing and background.
All right. Kopano is born and bred. Okay, Kopano's a Joburg guy, born and bred in Johannesburg. Born in Soweto, bred in Johannesburg. Went to primary school in the south of Johannesburg. Spent most of my upbringing in the south of the suburbs of Winchester, Mondio, or Robert Cham. I'm also Soweto as well, so I'm a south guy. I've born south of Johannesburg, and
Mm,
yeah, I mean, I've always had a passion and a loving for how things are made, why certain things are made. Like also the passion of the human hands and just why the hand is so very interesting, and I mean it's the perfect tool. So I've always had interest in that, and I've always just been really into things that are kind of seem different or like out of the box. But yeah, I mean, so I mean, I've always been that kind of that young kid, that young different guy.
mm,
Yeah, then I did visual arts in high school, very artistic. I was very artistic and I did some choir as well. I was also into sports. I'm still into sports as well. So I'm more around within the cultural side. I mean, academically as well, I'm pretty okay. I'm pretty good. Not bad.
mm,
Yeah. What can I say? Southside. Then then I got an opportunity, or rather, started studying at Rosebank College, did a course in architectural drafting, and then from doing a course in architectural
mm,
drafting went to study industrial design at the University of Johannesburg. And yeah, I mean, and then from that journey of studying, I mean, I didn't pass from the first attempt. It took me a while to actually
mm.
pass
Yeah.
FEJ. But I mean, you know how it is at university. It's interesting times. But yeah, but
Yeah.
eventually I made it. I passed, and then I got to actually get into the honors program, to where I did really well there. And
Mm,
within that time span when I was studying and really trying to figure myself out and figure out if I want to do design, if I love design. I've always loved design, but I needed ways to make money while I was studying, and then I started doing gigs, started doing small architecture gigs, designing floor plans for customers, really selling myself on social media, doing some
mm,
graphic design work, this digital design work I've been doing. I've been really selling myself also internationally and locally as well. So within that time span of me really trying to figure myself out and going to school, I started my business, Auko Designs. Well, I mean, it was started in 2015, but I officially registered it in 2018. So within that time span,
mm,
I was just, I'd call myself running a business, but officially formalized my business in 2018, and my business composed of the stuff I was doing as on a freelance basis, where I was making money through designing logos, corporate identities. That's what it's called.
mm,
Company profiles, pamphlets, flyers, and it jumped into architecture, as I mentioned, designing floor plans, and designing renders for presentations for clients as well. And obviously, within all of that, multi-facet freelancing and design, I learned a lot of different softwares and programs within 3D and 2D design. So yeah, I mean, and that's how the creation of Auko Designs, being a 3D design solutions company, came about. So we're merging 2D and 3D and we bring all types of solutions, kitchen designs. We have interior spaces for soft fitting designs. We've got manufactured products. We have educational puzzles as well. We also supply the services as Auko Designs, where we provide you the 3D design solution service, where you as a customer can come to us and we can help you conceptualize a product and bring it to life through the computer aided design softwares and manufacturing technologies, for which we can manufacture for which we can manufacture a prototype and then find means to
mm,
manufacture in mass if you have any commercial viability of your product. And we can also help you with the research and development of concepts that you want to really bring into life that you're uncertain exist. So I mean, at Auko
mm,
Designs, we are a collective, and I say we. I mean, I'm running this business, and I'm pretty much doing the day to day by myself. And I normally outsource like people I need, but the outsourcing comes from other freelancers that were within the same process, or rather the same journey I went through, where I was learning about design, freelancing, starting a company of my own, and I work with these freelancers that shared the same journey I'm sharing, and I
mm,
get a lot of feedback and a lot of like it helps the business to in hindsight, because I'm able to access skills from people who are really good at what they do and have the same story or similar narrative rather as to me. So
mm,
it's a we thing, but it's not necessarily we have like staff members. We have a collective of different specialists who have their own different expertise
mm.
in all different companies. And when we work on projects together in Auko Designs, we come together as Auko Designs. So yeah,
That's
yeah, that's
yeah,
yeah,
that's a mouthful there, and I have so many
yeah,
questions that I because you touched on the team element, you touched
yeah,
on how you founded the company, and basically your background leading up to this in
mm,
terms of what you studied, where you studied, and I'm sitting here thinking, what you do in terms of 3D printing designs is a very costly initiative, right? Especially from you getting the equipment and all of that. How
mm.
are you? Is your company fully bootstrapped, and how are you sort of bridging that that financial gap or that capital needed
Mm.
to start what you're doing?
No, okay, no. I mean, as I mentioned previously,
Mm.
in that mouthful of stuff I've said, it's,
Yeah.
the collaboration with different other experts include people that actually have maker spaces or have machinery. So we have experts
Mm,
who are manufacturing experts, or we have
mm,
experts who are furniture designers or furniture maker experts who have the means and the equipment to bring their products to life. Because I mean, that's their bread and butter. So we work with such people, and it's an exchange of skills. So there's I mean, for example, there's people that work within the furniture space that want to bring certain concepts to life, but they don't want to waste money and time designing a prototype, so they outsource
mm,
guys like me who can bring it to life through computer aided design software. And then from that you
mm,
can make prototypes of it, and we can test it together and make it something tangible and realistic. So that's
mm,
also just a facet in which the collaboration comes in. So I mean, there's not necessarily an exchange of money, because I mean,
mm,
as an emerging company, as you know, as emerging companies, capital is always an issue. But what we do have is skills and resources. So I mean, we replaced the idea of having to I have to give you an invoice and in exchange you pay me. I mean, if you can afford
mm,
me and at that time, great. But I mean, what else can you benefit? What else can you give me that benefits the company? And you've got machinery,
mm,
you've got network, you've got certain things I don't have. So I mean, this is
mm,
also just how working here at Wits Temnochong, the makerspace at Wits Temnochong has the machinery. So in exchange, I provide my industrial design expertise through designing all types of stuff, initiatives that I can help out. Designing trophies, for example, like
mm,
collaborating with, like, for example, with Fabukes in designing trophies, bringing these things to life. You
mm,
know, so I mean, that's the input I bring, and in exchange, I get to make these type of stuff and sell them externally from my company's perspective. So it's a really cool mutualistic relationship that
yeah.
we developing as makers and designers and as engineers who can't afford to get these big laser cutting machines and these big 3D printing machines, but have the means to the networks and the skills, who have the means to networks and skills, who can help you. So it's just I call it a bartering system in a way, but we bartering
Mm.
skills and network. Yeah.
That's awesome to hear. And somebody watching this interview, listening to what you say, looking
Mm,
at the potential or opportunities that the space that you're in, the maker space
Mm,
that you're in,
mhm.
offers, and thinking, how does one get, access to these spaces, or even access to you, to assist with concepts that one might have that wants to bring them to light.
Okay, so with Auko Designs, with me personally, you can go to www.aukodesigns.co.za, and then you can go to contact, and then you can send me a message, which I will reply to you within less than 20 minutes, actually less than 10 minutes. So
Mm,
it's a direct message I get, and whatever queries that you might have, perhaps you want to learn more, or you'd want to, tell me about your product, as I know you want to set up a meeting, or you want me to be on a talk via WhatsApp. It's all there, it's all available. Just go to www.okodesigns.co.za, and you can bring your dreams and ideas to life. And then you can find me at Timilogong, TMG Makerspace, 41 Juta Street, Braamfontein, Johannesburg. And then that's where, as I've mentioned, we have a collective of engineers and creatives and designers and makers who work collectively and collaborate in collaborative projects, and also have their own companies that they have their own special skills. And we've got someone that does robotics, we've got someone that does Internet of Things, we've got someone that does artificial intelligence, we've got someone who does VR, all separate companies. And but I mean, obviously, collectively, when needs be, we work on bigger projects together. When when we do get these projects, but yeah, so you go to Auko Designs, www.aukodesigns.co.za. Auko Designs spelled AUKO, the word designs, S at the end, .co.za. Go on to the site, go on to contact, send me a message, I will reply to you. And you can find me at 41 Juta Street, Braamfontein, Johannesburg. Yeah.
awesome. So that's cool. And I'm sitting here thinking that yes, we've touched on the initial capital and how you've bridged that by, being part of this maker space and leveraging off of, the networks that it gives you.
Hmm.
My question would be, it seems like it's smooth sailing. Have you ever experienced any challenges, since your startup
Yeah.
of this business?
Yeah, the challenges are always going to be there, especially now. I mean, obviously, the more you grow, the more challenging it becomes. But like
Mm,
one thing that I mean, how I deal with this, I tell myself that this is the price that we have to pay. It's like I'm paying rent right now. I'm paying rent to kind of live this life I want to live and have this impact I want to have, and inspire the people I want to inspire, and keep and create jobs that I want to create. But I'm paying the price for it because it's not going to be easy and nothing's for free. So it's pretty
mm,
difficult, but I mean, you don't take these things personally. It's just the nature of business. It's the nature of entrepreneurship. It's the nature of the game, and this is just stuff that we learn as we go. So it's nothing personal. So
mm,
I really just put my mind towards that, not being personal. I just need to keep the work moving. The work needs to keep moving, and you need to stay consistent. And yeah, outside of believing, you need to. For me, this is for what actually drives me, is like, outside of believing, you
yeah,
need to know that it's going to work. I mean, it sounds crazy, but you need to have this thing in your mind.
yeah,
Only you see it, but it needs, it's going to work. No one else can tell you. I
mm,
mean, outside of believing, you can believe in everything else, but then believing is just one part of, I know it's going to work. I don't tangibly see it right now. I can't touch it, but I know it's
mm,
going to work. I know I'm going to employ the thousands of people I want to employ. I know I'm going to own these factories. I know I'm going to own these maker spaces. I know I'm going to collaborate with other makers and other engineers all over the world. I know we're going to create really cool products and solutions that empower
mm,
mankind. I know this, and I'm part of it. I don't have it right now, but I know it, and like that's what keeps me going through the ups and downs. And it's just, as I say, paying the rent, paying the price. It's nothing personal. Yeah,
mm. Nah,
yeah.
that's awesome to hear. And I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
relative to any. I like the way you responded to that question because it appeals to anybody that's in startup phase of a business.
Yeah, yeah.
Are those challenges? Sometimes you don't see the entire road. You can only see till a certain point, but the
Mm,
vision is clear. This is where you want to
mm,
go, but how you get there, this those little steps that you need to take to get to that
mm,
overall vision.
yeah,
Sometimes you can only see half of that path.
exactly.
You just need to believe that you'll get to that that overall vision that you have for yourself.
Mm.
So in terms of partnerships, if people are interested in partnering with you,
Hmm.
what is the criteria for that? What type of partners are you looking for?
Okay, so I'm within the space of industrial design. architectural design,
mm,
interior design. So the partners, and also I manufacture, and also, okay, so here's a tier. So it's industrial design, interior design, architectural design, and we have 3D education, and we manufacture educational toys. So the partners, preferably for my business right now, partners that have uh, what's it, corporate social investment initiatives and B2B, business to business initiatives. So from the business to business initiative point of view, I supply the 3D design services from an emerging business perspective, right? So I gathered
mm,
all the skills and talents that, as I mentioned previously, that all the different makers and all the different individuals that we work with, we gather and we work on projects together with different skills and collectively. So as Auko Designs, we as Auko Designs manage that as a business already, and we can give that to partners that would like to partner with us from a B2B initiative, right? And
mm,
then we have the CSI initiatives where we manufacture all types of corporate gifts. I mean, I've got examples of some stuff over here. Manufacture all types of corporate gifts, educational, really. I don't know if you see the X and O's.
yes,
We have
yes.
that. It's like an X and O set over here. As I showed you before, we have corporate trophies that we manufacture, as well
Mm,
as and 3D print and laser cuts for, and then we also have educational puzzles and toys as well that could be a part of an educational initiative empowerment that corporates do. I mean, a lot of corporates have an initiative that wants to empower people and communities about 3D, about education. So we're going to introduce 3D design within that space. We're going to introduce robotics. We're going to introduce engineering. Basically, we're going to introduce STEM, which, or STEAM rather, which stands for
mm,
science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, on a, I don't want to say on a basic level, but on a level that on an entry level that enters normal people, South Africans, into the mainstream of technology internationally. So we have people that
mm,
come from I don't, not rural, but we come from villages who can use 3D printers, who can design on CAD, who are on par with international standards of design and innovation. It shouldn't just be something that is new. It should be accessible, and we teach these skills and we transfer these skills because we have the resources and we have the availability. So we as a collective, as I mentioned, the different engineers and designers,
mm.
work with. So obviously working with the CSI initiative on that part would be a great partnership, and also from the B2B perspective where we provide innovative solutions through 3D design, engineering, and CAD. So yeah.
That's awesome to hear that you also collaborate or a partner in terms of
Mm,
providing this training. And you mentioned CAD a lot.
mm,
For somebody that might be listening who doesn't know what CAD actually is, how would you
mm.
describe it? Or maybe some of the software suites that you guys
Okay.
use to build what you do.
All right, so CAD is an abbreviation for computer aided design. So it's a software that's used to take any concept that you've drawn on a paper and bring it into a 3D model, digital 3D
Mm,
model environment to which that you can 3D print or you can laser cut. So 3D printing essentially is, just hold on. I have an example of a 3D printed product over here. I don't know if you can see that.
mm,
So this
yes.
product over here is something that can be sketched on a 2D sketch. I mean, this is Groot. I don't know if
Yeah.
those that are into Marvel, but this
Mm,
product can be sketched on a 2D page, a normal paper,
mm,
and then obviously designers like myself, 3D models model and designers like myself will take that and put it into a 3D CAD environment on the computer, which is called computer aided design software, and you get all types of them. There's SolidWorks, there's Fusion 360. There's, I mean, those are the big ones. SolidWorks and Fusion 360 are the ones that are normally used, but you get all types of them. You get all types of different ones. You get Inventor, you get Rhino as well. So you take it into the software, the drawing, and then you
mm,
design it, 3D, bring it to life, you extrude it, make it look realistic on the actual computer, and then you
mm.
export the file. Export means you convert the 3D model on the computer into a file format that communicates with the manufacturing machinery, for this instance, the 3D printer. And that file format
Yeah.
is going to be an STL file, to which then
Yeah.
produces this guy. So you can literally design anything, and like you can think about a concept, take it on paper, bring it onto the computer, and bring it to life. That's what CAD does. So CAD allows you
Mm,
to, you don't even need to bring it on paper. You can conceptualize it in your mind and then take it onto the computer, then literally bring it to life. And the beauty thing about CAD and engine and 3D printing working together, you can design and make anything in a day. Literally, it doesn't take you that long. You don't have to wait, you know.
mm,
So I mean, and there's other softwares that we use as well. I mean, you use the Adobe Office softwares like your InDesign, your Illustrator. I use CorelDRAW as well, which isn't part of the Adobe, but CorelDRAW is really good with manufacturing. It's really good with creating um, uh, parts, or rather like designs for laser cutting. For example, laser cutting is what we have over here. I don't know if you can see the logo there, but this is like
yes,
it's on a
yes.
piece of wood, right? And then the logo is cut through as so it's you put this board into a type of machine, a laser cutting machine, and it
Mm,
you know, and then from that 2D software I mentioned from either Adobe Office or from CorelDRAW, which is a 2D
mm,
software, which I actually was supposed to mention. You can then convert it into the same file format or very similar type file formats as I've mentioned with laser cutting. I mean, sorry, with 3D printing, and you can produce stuff like this. So these are just examples of stuff that you can make. Yeah. So that's I mean
yeah, I'm
yeah
just getting I'm just
yeah
like getting excited and thinking of my logo, Matlazana logo, and thinking,
yeah
hey, how
no
can I design it in such a way that it, either 3D printed or laser cut like that.
yeah
These are awesome designs, man, and it's quite
thank you
fascinating
thank
to
you
even hear the passion in your voice as you speak about
thank
some
you
of the
man.
work that you do. But just on the last question would be, where do you see the industry going? What are some of, the future, what does the future look like in terms of the industry that you're in?
Uh, thank you for the question, and it's very relevant with the time that we're living in now. I mean, with the BRICS happening, and then the idea and the huge notion of innovation and manufacturing, and taking mankind collectively, not just with the BRICS, but collectively as a planet, and moving us to a different space. So I think now it's a time where we are in a space where I call it the tangible revolution, where now we
Mm,
have stuff that's happening digitally, which is social media, which is the internet, which is the revolution right now as we're experiencing with the Zoom and Teams meeting. But then now the tangible
mm,
revolution comes where we make tangible stuff that are actually of practical, that have the same type of it's they have the same type of influence as social media and software, but now it's more based on a realistic
mm,
3D revolution where we're making things ourselves. We're no longer going to stores or depending on big brands to make things for us. We're making things ourselves. We're making our own cutlery. We're making our
ourselves,
own,
yeah.
I mean, getting to the point where we're going to be 3D printing our own foods. So it's a lot. 3D printing our own organs. There's a lot that this industry
Mm,
is doing already now within the dentist industry. People are designing grills like using CAD and all types of dental inputs using CAD, and then using 3D printing to put to enhance the human experience with for example teeth. 3D printing is used already in the
mm,
medical space as well. So it's a growing industry, and the dream, and I would like to see, and I would like to be part of the reality where, as I mentioned, people from the village are using CAD, 3D printing, are making things, using biodegradable material that they have from wherever they are, and converting it into
mm,
technology, and then bring it into a 3D format, and then, literally, I mean, and that's where we're going, because people are making petrol. I mean, we get people that are in townships that are making petrol using all types of, like, waste materials. So
mm.
it's the future, it's relevant, it's time, and the tangible revolution is among us now. So, and this is no shots to the digital guys. I love digital stuff. It helps me. I use
Yeah.
CAD digital, but I think the
Mm,
biggest thing that we need to focus on is how things are made and why they're made, and how impactful they are in our real life right now, in like reality, like
yeah.
physical reality. So that's the tangible revolution, and it's happening. It's inevitable.
Yeah, like you say, it's inevitable. I've
Yeah.
seen developments like you say, 3D printing meat,
Mm,
and even breast implants. I know there's
mm,
a lady that was doing that that I interviewed a while ago. So
mm,
there's quite a lot that's happening in the space, and yeah, you are part of that revolution, like you say.
mm.
But yeah, this brings us to the end of the interview. I really enjoyed it a lot. I know I've been in
Thank
that
you.
space. I've seen some of the work that you've done.
Yeah.
I've always said, there's a puzzle that you built with African countries.
Mm.
I looked at that and I was
Mm.
like, I
Let me
need, yeah.
let me just bring it for you quickly. African, you're speaking about this guy over here.
Yeah, this guy over here, I'm like, even
Yeah.
conceptually to even think of building something like this is insane,
Thank you very much.
And it's very educational in terms of,
Yeah.
knowing where each of these countries' boundaries lie, the
Yeah.
shapes of those countries, and at the back you have the names of
The
of
name.
of of those, yeah, of those
Yeah.
countries. I think that's a very cool concept, and I'm
Thank
thinking,
you.
I
Thank you.
should get one of these for my
Definitely.
for my kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah, yeah,
man,
yeah.
definitely. All right.
Yeah,
No, thank you for
I
this.
like I
This was
like I
fun.
like the work that you're doing, man. Like it's
Thank you.
quite yeah, phenomenal.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you again for honoring this interview. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'm always at Hong, and we'll keep rubbing shoulders. If there's anything new that's happening in your space, or any new designs that you are working on,
Yes.
please let us know. Because I know there was one you were working on, which was I think it was an award
Mm.
that looked like gears and stuff. And I was looking at this and I was like,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah. Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, man. So if there's any developments, if there's anything new that would like to let us know about, feel free to let us know.
Thank you.
And we'll make sure to cover it here on Matlaza.
Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you. Much appreciated. www.aukodesigns.co.za. Boom. Thanks, brother.
There, you heard it here. All right. Cheers, man. Thanks.
Yes, brother.